Good morning, everyone. Nandito na ba lahat? Mr. Glory, say present.
Nandito na po.
Mr. Glory. Allow me to record thing. Mm. Yesterday, we talked about the seven layer of the Earth. Now, let's move on to our next topic. Let me share my screen. Nakikita mo yung screen ko, Mr. Glory?
Opo, sir.
Nakikita mo yung PowerPoint natin?
Opo.
Today, we are now talking about the earthquake. So, Mr. Glory, for you, what is earthquake?
Earthquake, sir, is a vibration of the atmosphere at the bottom of the earth.
So, introduction. Earthquake is Earthquakes constitute one of the worst natural hazards, which often turn into disaster, causing widespread destruction and loss to human life. The effects of earthquake vary upon the magnitude and intensity. Earthquakes occur every now and then all around the world, except in some places where earthquakes occur rarely. The devastation of cities and towns is one of the effects of earthquake. So what is earthquake? As you said earlier, Mr. Glory, the earthquake is the vibration of the
Earth atmosphere, sir.
okay. So an earthquake is the result of sudden release of energy in the Earth's crust that creates seismic waves. As you said earlier, the seismic activity of an area refers to the frequency, type, and size of earthquakes experienced over a period of time. Um, These are the terms related to the earthquake. We have hypocenter, which means focus is the point on the fault where ruptures occurs and the location from which seismic waves are released. So as you can see, Mr. Glory, dito sa ating illustration dito, makikita mo kung saan yung focus and the epicenter is right here. The epicenter is the point on the Earth's surface that is directly above the focus, the point where an earthquake or underground explosion originates. Fault line. A fault line is the surface trace of a fault, the line of intersection between Earth's surface. Fault plane are the cracks or sudden slips of the land. Fault scarp is the topographic expression of faulting attributed to the displacement of the land surface by movement along the faults. So, dito sa Pilipinas, alam mo ba yung mga fault line natin, Mr. Glory?
Ano, sir, sa Manila, may fault line doon na which is
Okay,
the big one, tawagin.
okay, that's one of the good example. Um, Before that, let me show you some video about earthquake. So here it is. So this is one of the, So that's one of example of earthquake. Um, what is the causes of the earthquake? The primary causes of the earthquake, as you can see in the video, is the is the fault. It is a break or fracture by or with two blocks of rocks in response to stress. This movement occur rapidly, the form of an earthquake, or may occur slowly in form of creep. Earth scientists use the angle of the fault with respect to the surface, known as the dip, and the direction of slip along the fault is to classify faults. So these are the classification of faults. We have normal fault, which is a deep slip fault in which the block above the fault has moved downward related relative relative to the block below. So as you can see, Mr. Glory, dito sa ating illustration, yung normal fault lang is bumababa lang yung lupa habang yung isa is tumataas. Next is the thrust or reverse fault. A deep slip fault in which the upper block above the fault plane moves up and over the block. So the reverse fault the reverse fault is yung makikita mo dito sa illustration board sa illustration na makikita mo rito sa video. This is the reverse fault. Next is strike slip fault. A left lateral strike slip fault is one of the displacement of the far block is to the left when viewed from either side. A right lateral strike slip fault is one of which displacement of the far block is to the right when viewed from either side. So makikita mo rin dito sa illustration kung ano yung left and right lateral strike slip. So meron din tayong measurement ng earthquake kung malalaman natin kung gaano kalakas ang magnitude nito. And this equipment is seismometer. Seismometers are instruments that measure motion of the ground, including those seismic waves generated by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and other seismic sources. Seismometers may be developed at Earth's surface in shallow vaults, in boreholes, or underwater. We also have earthquake safety rules. So kapag nasa bahay ka, don't use lift for getting down from the building. Be prepared to move with your family if you are in shop, school, or office. Don't run for an exit. Take cover under the desk or table. Move away from window, glass. Do not go near electric point and cable. Keep away from weak portion of the building. So, itong mga safety rules natin is, ini-implement natin siya sa high school, sa high school students natin, which is nagkakaroon tayo ng mga operation or mga program from BFIP, tinuturuan nila tayo kung ano yung tamang procedure kapag nagkaroon ng earthquake, yung tinatawag natin na duck, cover, and hold. So, if you are outside, avoid high buildings, walls, power lines, and other objects that could fall and create block. Don't run through streets. If possible, move on to an open area away from hazard, including trees. If you are in the vehicle, stop in a safe, open place. Remain inside vehicle. Close window, doors, vents. Keep calm. Switch on the transistor radio and obey instructions. Keep away from beaches, low banks of river. A huge wave may sweep in. Do not re-enter badly damaged buildings. Do not go near construction. So, once nagkaroon tayo ng earthquake, hindi natin maiiwasan kadalasan yung mga kasunod nito na aftershock or tinatawag nating tsunami. Nagkakaroon tayo nito like sa nangyari sa Japan. Next is, do not drink water from open containers without having examined it. Hindi natin masasabi kung malinis ba itong tubig na to or hindi. Baka nalagyan na 'to ng mga kung ano-ano. If you are aware of people being buried, tell the rescue team. Do not rush and try not to worsen the situation. Avoid places where there are loose electric wires and do not come in contact with any metal object. Eat something, you will be better and more capable of helping others. Do not walk around the streets to see what is happening. Keep the streets clear so rescue vehicle can access the road easily. So that's all, Mr. Glory. Um, what's your conclusion about our discussion for today?
Yes sir, napakagaling niyo po magturo. Naintindihan ko po lahat ng topic natin po sa ngayon. So,
Okay?
napakaganda po, napagaling, sobra.
Okay. For
Super,
our activity, Mr. Glory, um, we are integrating the arts literacy or creative literacy. So, for our activity tomorrow,
yes
um,
sir.
you are required to bring baking soda and vinegar. And depende na sa'yo kung paano ka gumawa ng volcano. It's either you use clay that form in volcano or some materials you know. That's all, Mr. Glorioso. You can now leave this class and thank you for today.
Yes sir, salamat.
Goodbye, class. Thank you.
Thank you sir.
Ayos.